Welcome back to another reaction for Sentenced to be a Hero episode 8. So we got introduced to the fiance. I'm assuming she's going to die. We had a pretty strong enemy to fight. Probably the Demon Lord. Most likely the Demon Lord, but we will see how we are going to continue.
勇者部隊の援護、竜騎兵の攻撃によって刺客たちを
Now this is interesting. First off, the knights disappeared, so we should find out what happened to the knights. They should have been there. Additionally, thanks to the support from the hero unit, okay, understandable, Xylo, Tsar, Saf, you know, understandable, and the dragoons attack. Now that is interesting, because the dragoon is not counted as a hero, or for the hero unit. Otherwise, this would be... there's no need to have it differently named. Now, maybe it's the dragon itself that has his own name or her own name. Or it is, they are not part of the hero unit. But no, they have to. Because Xylo gave them money. I assume they are part of the hero unit. It's just interesting that she differentiates those two.
たちを退けることはできたが、正規師団の警備網は各所で寸断され、
Was shredded.
半数近くが死亡していた。
Oh, okay, so that is why there were no holy knights here. They died. Or a lot of them died.
テオリッタ様と我々を孤立させるための不意打ち。完全な強襲だった。
我々の中に裏切り者がいるということでしょうか。
味方が信用できないならまともな戦はできませんぜ。
She knows there is, or there are traitors inside the human system. Now, she can't really pinpoint them. She doesn't know who the traitor really is. But she knows there are humans that side with the demons. Now, Xylo got told specifically that they're the coexisters. I don't know if she, as the captain, knows that as well.
配置していた。
She has a special design, I feel like.
配置していた狙撃兵はほぼ全滅していました。
We saw her a couple of times. Right, she is like one... all of these are like pretty close to our commander. He was the one we saved at the very beginning. I like her.
ほぼ全滅していました。
女神テオリッタの護衛体制については信用できるものだけで再検討。
Which is mostly the heroes, I feel like.
意味ねえな。信用できる奴らってのがそもそも怪しい。ここにいる人間すら疑うべきだ。ふん。懲罰勇者などまさに疑うべき筆頭だろう。少なくともな。
I mean, in the grand scheme, if you look at it objectively, he's not wrong. He's somewhat not wrong. Sure, the Pina heroes, they are not really trustworthy. They have a lot of reason to go against them. However, you do have still the seal to blow off their heads, which they don't know if that works. We never got a confirmation. However, they were able to put something special in the seal for the swindler, so he can't talk about the information he has about the coexisters. Meaning they should have been able to put some extra restrictions on the seals to make them more trustworthy. Which, now that I think about it, I would like to see all the seals next by side by side, because the Swindler has to have a different seal. So that is more or less where the extra change comes in, where he can't tell anyone about the coexisters. What stops them? Because my assumption is that the guy that is responsible for the heroes is trying to get rid of the coexisters with the help of the heroes. Maybe even more, who knows? There is the potential that the seals on their neck have some kind of activation they can use to force the hero units to listen to him. It would make sense for him to have that implemented, if possible. So he can say, like, what was the order 69? I'm not really sure what exactly the order for the in Star Wars was, but something similar to that, where they all listen to the blue-haired guy, who then do whatever he wants. I feel like there is something along those lines. Additionally, I did see people assuming that the memory loss may be memory stealing, which would not be too far-fetched. We know Sarf, he died a bunch of times, but he never really seemed to have changed. His personality is the same, his memory seemed to be the same. Meanwhile, Tatsuya is totally different. We don't know how many times each of them died. But if you can control how many memories are getting removed and how much the personality changes, you can form these heroes in a specific way. It would also make sense to get them into some kind of suicide mission where they die, you retrieve them, manipulate their memories and their personality, and send them out how you want them to be. I find that interesting. And again, it would conform with some of the information we got a lot better than you just lose random memories.
相手は必要だ。第12世紀師団に連絡を取れ。
諜報専門の部隊と
Right, get another one. At least this requires investigation. Contact the 12th Order of the Holy Knight. Is the 12th Order specifically for investigation? I'm assuming if that is the case, that they have a goddess that is good at that. Similar to like the one that looks into the future, maybe there's one that can detect lying. I'm assuming there is one. It would make sense. However, we never saw her being used, which would be interesting. But maybe they are like an investigation unit, or it's just, hey, get another order that is checking your order, so you have like an independent review. This is only under the assumption that the 12th Order is not undermined as well.
第12世紀師団に連絡を取れ。
諜報専門の部隊と
They may specialize in intelligence, I see. But they don't show themselves in public. Again, there may be a goddess that is able to detect lies. Or something along those lines, which would be very interesting. That seems like a very strong goddess to have. The only reason why I am a little bit on the fence on that, because we never saw her being used by whenever Silo got sentenced, he was not present, seemingly. Whenever any one of the heroes got interviewed, she was not present. Meaning, if they have one, they did not really use her that much. It may also be that they just don't want to have her out in the open. Possible. Because if they are specializing in intelligence, they probably know about the coexisters. It could also be that our blue-haired guy is working with this knight, with the 12th knight unit. Additionally, I saw that it may be that the blue-haired guy is the uncle of the Knight Captain. Could be, because the same hair color, but we don't really have much confirmation on that part. Apart from he seems to be working with potentially the church. Hard to say, because we saw him with the guy next to him, and the guy had like his face covered, but not only the church is covering their face, also the king. So a little bit loose, but maybe we get more confirmation
で
there.
も連中は公の場に姿を現さない。
信用できる相手かわからなければ戦えねえ。あんたらの言った通りだ。
Also interesting, can they even call the 12th Knights unit? They were also saying that they move in the shadow. Maybe they are already here.
各自の考えは分かった。ここは当問題の顧問にもご意見を伺い。
Right, I totally forgot that Xylo's under her command now.
たいと思う。いかがでしょう、マーレン大祭。
そうだな。私は先ほど第一王都から着任したばかりだが。
Marlon. I don't remember, but one of the earlier episodes, our captain was talking to a superior, and they were like, okay, yada yada yada, give my regards to some bishop. Now, I don't really remember the name, if it was for the one guy that was more or less following her around at the time, or if it was Marlon. For some reason, I feel like it was him. But again, I do not remember exactly.
この私自身も
But the name is familiar somehow.
含めて
He has blue hair, even though it is somewhat black. It is black. Here it is blue. It is dark. He also has red eyes. Oh, he may be the uncle of her.
自身も含めて誰が信用に足るかは重要な問題だ。だが正直、諜報部が動けるかどうかはわからない。捕虜の尋問はどうだ、パトーシェ。
看板
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, 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 hey. Satoshi? This is the first time I heard that. So I'm assuming that is her first name. Again, would make sense if it was her uncle.
パトーシェ。
芳しくはあります。
Pretty sure we may have heard that at some point, but she's not being called that? Pretty sure.
生きて捕らえた者はほとんどが情報を持たない冒険者でした。例の暗殺者たちを捕獲できていれば。
気にするな。お前は自分の行いに責任を感じすぎる。過度の後悔や緊張は良い結果につながらないぞ。
At least they know each other. It may also be that he is maybe a friend of her uncle, but they have like the same hair color, the same eye color.
肝に銘じます。おじ上。
まだ
Makes more sense now. The name, same eye color, hair color.
硬いな。
And he's the whole reason that she's the captain, essentially. And he is also very high up.
まあいい。それもまたパトーシェキビアか。
第一サイドの
ん？
ザイロ、よせ。
俺の意見はきっと役に立ちます。そうじゃなきゃあなたみたいな偉い人の前で手を挙げません。
挑戦的だが場を和ませる言い方だ。パトーシェ、お前も参考にするがいい。
That is crazy. That is crazy to say. He has to know that is Xylos the hero, right? I mean, he's the only one that is looking differently. He doesn't have like the uniform or whatever. He probably knows that it is a hero, and he's still like, hey, you know, you should learn from him.
はい。
それで勇者ザイロ。
Okay, so he knows it's a hero, but even though it's a hero, he is looking past that and still finding, or more or less taking in what is happening right now. Not what happened in the past, what got him into the hero role, what is going on now. He's behaving a certain way, and he's like, Kivia, you can learn from that. Which is pretty good. Also, it feels like that maybe the church is divided. This is one of those tropes that is happening a lot, where you have like one side of the church who are like, oh, we are more or less the old version, we are more conservative, and then you have like a new version that are more relaxed. In that case, it feels like he could be on the new side. He did not show any disgust at this point. Different to the other three that show still they don't like Xylo.
君の意見を聞かせてもらおう。
ええ、まずは冒険者どもの斡旋所、ギルドを探るべきです。
I mean, that is a solid start. They had to be found some way, and if the guild is responsible for that, okay.
リデオ・ソドリックか。こいつが冒険者ギルドの代表か。
その男の祖先が紙幣を集め
Don't remember. Was he one of the guys that died? I don't know.
その男の祖先が紙幣を集めコリオ湾で横行する海賊行為を鎮めたそうです。それがギルドの成り立ちだと。
もっともらしい逸話ですが、
所詮は海賊もどきの縄張り争いでしょうな。
事実はどうあれ、リデオ・ソドリックは町の名士だ。ソドリックの海岸と呼ばれる地域は冒険者ギルドそのものの歴史とも言えるだろう。
Okay. So we are trying to identify, I guess, the faction that is responsible or connected to the Demon Lord.
ザイロ君
What are you doing here? It is so hard to trust you, which is good. You need a character that is, especially a character that doesn't seem to be bad, and I hope he never is fully bad, but that he's very self-centered, and he's trying to survive, which is, I like him as a character, because you never know what is real and what is not. And he seems to be pretty good at gauging what he should be true about and what not. He's just a good swindler. He knows when to tell you the truth and when to lie. So you never know. But at this point, he did whatever he did, he didn't screw us over at this point. Or until this point.
大丈夫でしたか
When he lied, it was always for the better of everything.
あ？何がだよ。
いえ、その新しい懲罰を押し付けられたとか。
I'm so curious if we ever get his backstory. But I feel like that is only happening whenever they tell us that he's a spy or something like that. Not really a hero. At least not like the other ones. I also question Can they remove the hero? Can they just remove the curse, blessing, whatever, and they are not a hero anymore, not immortal anymore?
別に嫌がらせみたいなもんはなかった。
そうですか。
あ？今度は狙撃手の女に手出そうとしてるんじゃねえだろうな。
I mean, I like her.
まさかそういうことではなく、いえ、何でもありません。
なんだ。
What is what is going on? Something
そういうこと
changed.
ではなく、いえ、何でもありません。
なんだそれ。仕事の人選に付き合え。お前の相談に乗ってやってもいい。
いや、だから相談とかじゃないですって。
I feel like he's right. He's the born swindler. He knows what he has to say. He is probably very conscious of other people, how they behave. Again, now he's all smiley. I don't know why he stopped his smile here. Because he knows whenever it feels like that normally a smile is to, if you are positive or you have a positive aura, the other person, the other side also takes that positivity in and slowly turn more positive. It feels like he's trying that here, but he feels like, hey, this doesn't work on Xylo. So that is why he's not, not smiley anymore. Because it doesn't really do anything. And he's a little bit more smiley again.
相談とかじゃないですって。そういうのではないんですよ。全然そういうのではないんです。
Are you sure? It looks very similar to the other brands or seals. Now, two backstories. We have seen every backstory but Dotta's. We know why the Swindler is here. We know Sare. We know Xylo. We know the Dragon or Dragoon. Even though we have not seen his side in the anime, we listen to it. Rhino, which is not introduced yet. We don't know what is with him. And as far as I remember, they said he was willingly a hero, which is crazy. So maybe he likes fighting, who knows. But Dotta is the only one they are not willing to show us why he's here. They have not told us what his crime was. I mean, we can infer stealing, if that is true, if he's a real hero. Or seen his being taken in and interrogated.
まさか失敗するとはな。
竜騎兵は予定外だ。
So now we find out it is one of the church guys, right? I hope it's not the uncle.
勇者も情報よりはるかに手強かった。それに、奴は素人だ。今すぐ外すか殺した方がいい。
俺のことか。
ブージャムを見つけたのは。
So military?
私の経営する賭場でね、まるで血の海だった。揉め事になった10人の冒険者は漏れなく死んでいたよ。
Do they not know he's like at least some kind of monster? Maybe not Demon Lord, but presumably Demon Lord. Because he can extend his arm and stuff? Who's that?
足を引っ張られかねん。追加料金を要求する。
敵が強いからといって金をせびるのか?
I see.
私を挑発しているようだな。
兄さん、この女は野良犬。 飼い主がいないから危険です。
イリ、下がりなさい。大丈夫。
Not a hero.
女は野良犬。飼い主がいないから危険です。
イリ、下がりなさい。大丈夫だ。シジバウ、冒険者ギルドはお前のいた軍隊とは違う。降りるなら成功報酬はなしだ。
その3倍は用意しておけ。
3 times? What's are you?
こちらも人を雇う。苦労とな。
You know, it would make more sense to talk about this first, you know? Instead of being like, I need more money. It's more like, this job is more difficult than I expected, or you told me it would be. I need other experts. And that is why she needs money. Now it makes more sense. Are you willing to give her more money? I don't know, but it at least makes more sense. Instead of, I just want more money.
お前。
俺も報酬の上乗せを頼みたい。もう一冊本を買う。この作者は気に入った。アルトヤード・コメって見事な詩人だ。
So he is strange. From what we see, he was able to change his body. It feels very much he's like the Demon Lord. But he also seems to have like the memories of his character. Or maybe he has like memories of... Maybe he was a human at some point, or he transformed into a human a bunch of times. He has like information that a newly transformed human should not have. It may also be that he can possess other bodies. And that is how this came to be. He takes over the memories. Maybe that. And he seems to be interested in human literature. So, what is this blue crystal doing? Like blue, green. At the beginning it was not, was it green? Yeah. So it's just a lamp. Okay. I guess. I also wonder what is up with her. She's clearly not normal. So maybe like an orphan. Maybe he has like an orphanage where he trains them from young to be like killing machines. Maybe replace body parts, have like seals engraved similar to Xylo. Maybe have something similar to her. She was able to react well. Now, this doesn't mean she's strong, but I'm assuming that is what they want to insinuate.
飼い主がいないから危険です。
イリ、下がりなさい。
Ah. So it seems like he's controlling her. With this little thing on his left hand. Because as soon as he is stating a command, or before he states a command, this one lights up.
イリ、下がりなさい。大丈夫だ。シジバウ、冒険者ギルドはお前のいた軍隊とは違う。
Which is interesting. So these are like maybe automatons. They have seemingly somewhat of a free will, but he's able to control them.
兄さん、うまくいくでしょう
At least her. And I don't believe she is his sister.
か。
お前が心配することは何もない。
誰かを気にしてらっしゃるのですか？
I can't see anything. We have not seen enough goddesses. Now, first off, he seems military. Or noble, at least. Now, she could be a goddess, technically. Now, there's no indication that she is. Because she's missing any marks on her face. And the goddesses we have seen had marks on their faces. In some way, shape, or form. And I believe, no, they were not all blonde. They did have all different eye colors, I believe. Or what could be is that this is some kind of semi-goddess. They did say they wanted to try making their own goddesses. This may be one of those experiments that did not work as well, but worked well enough. She's definitely going to be a big part of the story. What she really is, what is going on behind the scenes, and the connection is going to play a big role. I mean, that is nice. She has her little dagger. You need like a holster or whatever so she can put it around her waist. We also have some food. Some cheese, some soup. Yep. And some bread. I mean, the bread looks really good. This looks like real bread. Now, we don't have any butter, but we do have the soup, though. So the question, I hope not. Question is Rhino. We I assume are going to meet Rhino. Really? Why?
ニーリーが焼いてる。他のドラゴンと一緒にいる
Why are you with another dragon?
ところを見られ
Oh, because you love dragons. Damn.
た。そんなんじゃないのにな。
ちょっと
I'm assuming it's cheese, right? It's not going to be butter. He also has different bread. Also looks delicious. Looks like fresh bread. I don't know what he has there. What is the green stuff?
ちょっとあんまりジェイスを刺激しないでよ。君ら好きやでよ。君ら好きやらば喧嘩しようとするよね。
そんなことねえよ。
あるよ。僕から見れば二人とも怒りと暴力のゴンゲだよ。できれば食事の時間もずらしてほしいくらいなのに。テオリットは
That Psycho covered his whole body in sacred seals. Which is also interesting because we know about the one that lets him explode swords and the one that gives him like super boost on his legs.
一緒じゃないの？
まだ
But we don't really see any other one.
寝てる。それにあいつには聞かせられない話がある。
Because it's some kind of story and she would want to some kind of mission and she would want to go with the mission, or we are attacking humans and she doesn't want to hurt humans.
やだな。僕に何かさせるんでしょう。
Yes.
そうだ。
それも危ないことでしょう。
Classic.
テオリッタを連れて行けないような感じの。
そうだ。話が早いな。ちょっとは喜べよ。手貸せなしで街に出られるぜ。
そんなこと言って。サーブはひどい目にあったらしいじゃん。右腕がぐちゃぐちゃだって。
ああ、右腕だけで済んだのは幸運だったな。
ちなみにどういう作戦？
まずは冒険者ギルドに潜入する。
冒険者ギルドなら
I mean, you can see that everyone dislikes the heroes. Apart from her uncle, the priest, he seemed pretty okay with Silo.
ライノーの方がいいんじゃないの？元は冒険者だったんでしょ？
ダメだ。ライノーは懲罰房に入ってるし、何するか予測がつかねえ。
じゃあベネティムとかさ。
Venetim doesn't do anything. Come on.
あいつは陛下と
Right, His Majesty.
修理場だ。
Why?
ようやく適当な足が見つかったらしい。
Oh, okay.
でもさ。
But why did Venetim go with him? Doesn't really make much sense, does it?
ドッタさんが嫌なら俺が代わる。どうせ今日は暇だ。
え、本当に？じゃあ。
ドッタ、お前の技が必要だ。
Because you need to liberate some information, I assume. It makes sense. Dota is the one that is better for the infiltration and procurement of that information, right?
わかったよ。
せいぜいドッタさんに迷惑かけるなよ。ドッタさんは腹を空かせたドラゴンに自分の腕まで食わせたような人。
I see. I was wondering, he seems to like Dota a lot. But now it makes sense. He was good to dragons, I like dragons. Someone who's good to dragons is a good person, kind of deal. Which I can understand. If you're good to dogs, you are, you can't be a bad person, right? Right? Another thing I don't know if I mentioned, I find it interesting that all the heroes we know are male and no female heroes. Which is a little bit weird. Is there a reason for that? I was talking with a friend and we came to the conclusion that maybe early on there was like a one-to-one connection. Every hero had like a goddess assigned. That may be why Theorita, as example, shows Xylo as her knight. So that may be how this normally should have worked. You become a hero, the goddess awakens, the goddess becomes your goddess, essentially, and you form a pair to fight against demon lords. It feels like that is the idea. It would explain why there are no female heroes, even though theoretically you could have a female hero. Otherwise, maybe there's a reason. Maybe there's a specific reason. Maybe female women can't become heroes for some reason. Maybe it's because they can become pregnant and the child is then not bound by the seal. Who knows? How did you even sacrifice your arm to a dragon? I do not believe you did that willingly.
お前、妙に尊敬されてるよな。
その話はいいよ。で、具体的にはどういう風に潜入するつもり？
それ
You just go in and infiltrate. Are you kidding me? So she's playing a noble and you are like her guards or whatever? Really? She's a commoner. She's not a noble. I mean, she likes it, which is pretty cute. But I feel like Xylo would make a better noble. Why are you looking at us like this?
何か問題がまた断層に見えると。
Yeah, classic. She's not gonna let this go down ever again. In like 100 years, you say something positive and she's going to counter Yeah, I'm not looking like a man now, am I? Kind of thing.
おう言いたいのか。
いや、かなり似合ってる。まさに貴族の令嬢って感じ。
Here's the point. If you say this, just let it be. Don't follow up. No follow up because your follow ups suck ass. Just let this stand in the room.
引く手あまたってところだろうよ。
そんな筋は結構だ。
It is very interesting from story-wise. No, none of the characters really have a development for their characters. Essentially, Xylo a little bit with the goddess. The goddess naturally learns a little bit, sure. But she's the only character that really develops throughout the show. From hating all heroes, hating Xylo because he's a goddess slayer, slowly warming up to Xylo, seeing how much he does, he's willing to sacrifice stuff, to now, you know, being a little bit more interested. Definitely, she is very weak to flattery. Now, I don't know if it's only for Xylo or generally, because she grew up a commoner, became a knight captain because of her uncle, so she's always in uniform, always fighting. So maybe she never got the flattery, she never got pursued as a potential wife. So it may be that she's just very weak to flattery, which you can see. She's generally very weak to... I don't know if she's weak to man. We had the one scene with the fortress where Xylo came too close to her and she had to get a little bit of distance because she was blushing. It may only be Xylo, but who knows if it's generally men. But Xylo is definitely at the front of her likeness for the characters she likes. So much that even the fiance was acknowledging that.
そんな筋は結構だ。貴様に褒められたところで私の機嫌は影響されない。
それはよかった。ただどんな依頼をでっち上げるか。それはよかった。ただどんな依頼をでっち上げるか。
Problem is, even I feel like Xylo would like her more in her normal uniform. I mean, I would personally, because she not only, I mean, she's good looking already, probably because of anime. So having someone who's good looking and strong looking is just, you know, good looking times 2.
冒険者ギルドといえばやはりフェアリー退治だろう。
So the first thing you need to change is how you talk.
そういうのは軍隊の仕事だね。
なら族の始末ってのはどうだ。
二人とも暴力の規模が大きいよ。辺境なら族の討伐もありえるけど、ここは養父市だからさ。
だったらどんな依頼が最適だ
Protection, escort.
というのだ。
じゃあ去る貴族の夫人とその真男で行こ
う。Are you wingmanning here?
何？
共謀して旦那を殺すやつ。誰か殺したい貴族とかいる？
Whoa, 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 whoa. So you are like, hey, you are married to a noble, or you are married to a noble, and you are like her secret lover, which is a very wingman kind of thing to do. Respect. And then you're plotting to get your husband, to get her husband killed. Any nobles out there, you want that? Oh, you were like all the, you know, before We were all about how about tone down the scale of the violence a bit. And now you are saying, hey, how about we kill someone? Or we hire people to kill someone. But I do like, I mean, we need to sell it a bit, that he's her lover, right? We need to be a little bit more convincing. But we should act a bit.
被告者ドッタ・ルズラス。
Oh, we go back to his. Okay. I still don't believe he is the real hero.
お前には一線を超える罪の告発がある。
Is he a child? He looks very young.
ほ
う。だが、この場で問われているのはただ一点。囚われていた王城の牢を脱獄し、そのドラゴンを盗み出した罪だ。
待ってください。
Oh, this is where he fed the dragon his arm. From all I know, I don't feel like Dota would give his arm to a dragon. What probably happened is that he ran, met the dragon, maybe tried to get him to, or use him to escape, and the dragon bit his arm off.
待ってください。
何か。
あの子は？あの子のことは僕の罪じゃないんですか？
何を言っている？
王太子殿下ですよ。
Summoner's got set up. Okay.
王太子殿下だということで。殿下に何の関係が？
あの子は僕に助けてくださいって言ったんです。本当です。王城に閉じ込められてるって逃げ出してきたって。だから僕がドラゴンで逃がそうと。
虚言は控えよう。
は？
王太子殿下がお前にそのようなことをおっしゃった事実は存在しない。王城を抜け出そうとした事実もない。
そんなはずありません。牢から逃げる途中にあったんです。絶対この連合王国の第一王子でした。まだ10歳ぐらいで怯えた目をしてて、王室がおかしいって陛下。
Royal family was acting strange, huh?
陛下もとっくに変になってて、きっと最初が。
沈黙しろ、ドッタ・ルズラズ。
いや、何かおかしいんですよ、王室は。だって王太子は僕みたいなやつを頼ろうとしたんですよ。ただのちんけな泥棒の僕みたいな。
沈黙。
Interesting. So, the royal family is strange. Would support the idea that maybe some people want to replace or get rid of these coexisters, and the demons slowly but surely convert the upper echelon of the humanity. Would all make sense. It would also explain why we don't really have time frames. When did he get turned into hero? When did Xylo get turned into hero? You know, we don't really have the time frames. Because I feel like he may be turned before Xylo, and Xylo got then grabbed by coexisters inside the government as it got slowly turned. Again, makes more sense that the heroes may then be... We will see if the blue-haired guy is in here somewhere and changing what his sentence is. This also may explain King, because he supposedly is he's a little bit weird, because whenever he was with the Tree Demon Lord, he was talking about him in a third person. He may not even be the guy that they wanted to reinstate as king. He may have been like his servant or his friend, and he took on the personality of him, maybe. But it may be that he is really the real king, and that demons usurped him and slowly but surely put their own kind on the leadership. Now, why is a big question. Why, if they have undermined humanity so far or so much already, why are they not getting rid of them? Is there a reason for that? We don't really know. It would explain a couple of things a little bit better. I mean, if we believe all this, then it is undermined. It would explain, again, why the heroes are made. I do wonder if the blue-haired guy is here. Also, it is very strange that all his crimes are irrelevant, apart from his crime of stealing a dragon and fleeing the imprisonment. Those are the two crimes he's being charged for here. Not the 1000 series stuff he did before. So if he did not meet the crown prince, why is he going to be sentenced to be a hero?
両親ぐらいあるんです。その相手が限られてるだけで、あの時の王太子様みたいな自分より弱い相手なら助けてやりたいって思うでしょ。こんなのおかしい。だったら誰があの子を助けるんです？
This also seems like the same place Xylo got sentenced.
あの子を助けてあげてくださいよ。
これ以上の審理は不可能だな。
調剤官、彼に与える罰は死刑が妥当かと存じ。
This would be a reasonable sentence. Okay. And this is where Blue Boy comes in. Most likely also covered.
その通りだが、この男にはさらに重い罪を課すことが採択された。
どな
By whom?
中央貴族連合から提案された。すでに決定事項だ。
Central Noble Alliance.
すでに決定事項だ。
なんだよ、今度は絶対に盗んでやる。
ドッタルズラス、お前を勇者刑に処す。
So he wanted to save the prince, seemingly unsuccessful, and he's vowing to save the prince. Xylo wants to find out whoever killed his knights and his goddess. Venetim doesn't really have much. We did not see him vow to take revenge or whatever. Similar to Asar. So these are the only two that have a bigger reason to go back and stay alive as long as possible. Now, the Central Noble Alliance, I'm assuming that is where the blue-haired guy comes from. We didn't see him, but the assumption is pretty high that he's responsible for the hero sentence. Additionally, it is still very weird that Dota is able to steal whatever is necessary. I still feel like he is being controlled in some way. This may, again, what is stopping them from putting something on his seal to be able to control him? And I'm assuming that the goddess that can look into the future is under the control of the Central Noble Alliance, and they can use her to maneuver the hero unit however they need to maneuver them to help. This may be like the Central Noble Alliance are like the good guys, and they are preparing to fight off the royal family. Maybe. The only real, it seems like, Knight Order that seems trustable is the 12th one, the one that gathers information, because I'm assuming they have a way to tell who's lying. So that may be the only one that is not undermined. But we will see. All stuff we cannot really verify right now.
めんどくさいけど、やるしかないよね。
What are you doing? Come on, you need to sell a little bit that you are lovers, right?
どう？いいものあるよ。
葉っぱいらない？
Problem is she's not looking like a noble lady. She's looking very fierce. I'm also assuming that they are now playing that they do like a little skit where they get attacked, I assume. I don't know what Dota is really doing.
不愉快だな。
竜の息吹、ジェイスのせいで広まった葉っぱか。
Why? Why?
完全な犯罪行為だ。
Why its use has spread a lot because of Jace. Why? Because of Jace always used Dragon's Breath and he's more or less famous now, kind of thing?
完全な犯罪行為だ。
Or is he selling that? Oh, it's I didn't see it.
そういえば、お前はなんで軍に入ったんだ？
どういう意味だ？
でかい領地を持つ神官の娘がわざわざ軍に入る必要はないだろう。
それは私の父と母は司祭だ。神殿で相応の責務を負い、さまざまな利益を得ていた。
And they died?
利益。権威と信仰を金に変える貴族司祭ってやつか。
ああ、寄付という穏健な形だけではなかったはずだ。私は父と母のそんなところが嫌いだった。
Oh, not always. Okay. So they like corruption.
私は父と母のそんなところが嫌いだった。
And you are righteous. Okay.
だから両親とは別の生き方をしたいと思い、軍に入ることを決めた。
Man, what a noble lady with a sword.
初めて手にした訓練用の剣だ。叔父上が買ってくれた。
Okay.
私は自分の才覚で自分の人生を獲得したかった。そんな私を支援してくれたのが叔父上だ。とこ
Okay. While we changing the topic?
ところでザイロ、貴様はその
She's very interested.
婚約者が。
ザイロ、ギルドの方を見てきたよ。
Come on, can't you wait a second?
早いな、さすがだ。
早すぎるくらいに早い。
Did they maybe put out a hit on their own heads? I don't know. Oh. No.
かなり警戒してるみたいだね。警備は20人くらいかな。
意外と少ねえな。
その分、変な子供がちらほら。
A bunch of weird kids. The one that the guy is controlling? Or maybe he's the head of the... I never considered that. I never connected that. Is he the head of the Adventurers Guild? The guy with the little girl?
殺し屋みたいなもんだと思う。
子供、許せんな。
孤児を育てて忠誠心の強い戦力に
Okay, so he's the Adventurers Guild master.
って話は聞い
Not a soldier or whatever.
た
Okay.
ことがある。
But why is he trying to kill the goddess? That is the question.
とにかく2人が潜入した隙に代表を拉致すればいいんだよね。人間を盗むってのはいい記憶がないんだけど。
いいからやれ。
So he's supposed to steal the representative, okay?
いいからやれ。ヒリア、お前は裕福な貴族の娘。俺がその愛人だ。
I feel like this is not going to make her blush.
わかっている。任せろ。
いてよ。
やはり懲罰勇者ザイロ・フォルバーツのようです。もう一人の女も聖騎士に間違いありません。
Or children, okay.
Zyro Forbarts.
But the question is, does he control them with his light thingy or not?
最悪だな。しかし、状況によるが、殺さずに
Why?
殺さずに拘束できれば。
では。
Why do you want him alive? Because of the goddess?
機会を伺います。
Wouldn't it make more sense to just kill him? Or is the goddess then going to die or what?
シジバウたちに連絡を。念のため、ドゥルサミにも起こしておけ。奴らを返すな。
わかりました。
What about alive? Wanted him alive, right? What are you looking at?
これも家族のためだ。
Which family? So they have to free someone that is probably wild, similar to Rhino on our side, and don't let them leave alive. So they also are supposed to call the assassin back. I feel like we are not going to win this fight. What is probably going to happen is that that daughter may get Rhino involved. We have not seen him yet. And he's the one that can clean house. Maybe. Very noble-like.
殺してほしい者がいる。はあ？ぶしつけながら。
He's like, what the fuck are you doing?
手だれの者に頼みたい。
あんた、どこの誰です？
名はマドリーンという。家名は容赦願いたい。はあ。
それで、誰かの紹介できたのかい？
殺しを受け。
I mean, she's clearly not made out for secret jobs like this.
取ってくれるのか？どうなんだ？
マドリーンさん、うちはどんな仕事でも受けるわけじゃないんですよ。
悪いな姉さん。夫人は世間知らずでね、こういう場所に慣れてない。紹介状はないんだが、切羽詰まってる。最悪、足がつかないように。
He also knows that everyone is looking. I don't know if he assumes they are only looking because they are sticking out, or if they are looking because they are ready to fight. Because we saw the children, they're probably more of these guys who are on the side of the guild and ready to throw down.
町から逃がしてほし
い。一応は聞いとくけど、誰を殺したい？
貴族の旦那だ。ギナイの橋森のヒステッド家を知ってるか？
いや。
そこの傍流の三男坊なんだが、ちょっと困ったことがあってね。
私はヒステッド
Why are you letting her talk?
家に嫁いだものだが、この男とは神聖な 春蔵の木の下で将来を誓った仲だ。はあ、私は夫を殺害し、この男と結ばれたいと考えている。駆け落ちという形でも構わない。ちょっと待ってよ。ちょっとあいつらにどうも疑われている。
Really? Really? You think so? Really? You believe they suspect you? No. You did well. That was a splendid performance.
そりゃ気のせいじゃねえな。
まずいぞ。どうする？
こうなったら。
Again, why not have him play the noble? He was a knight captain. He should have been a noble. He should know how to behave. Would work a lot better than her.
何？
騒ぎを起こして混乱させる。火事場泥棒ってやつだな。盗む相手はリデオ・ソドリック本人だ。
なんだその無謀な計画は。
とにかくやるぞ。まずはあいつらを。
腕の立つ者をご。
What are you doing here? No, why are you here? I was happy for a second, but now I don't want her to die. Come on. And the problem, she is the only one outside maybe Kivia and her uncle that is she's willing to do a lot for Xylo. I don't know if it's because of the agreements they had, the vow. Maybe it's a lot more sacred to them than we know. But she's at least, she's on our side. She's willing to try to get him a pardon. She's still holding on to the engagement. There's no reason for her to do this, apart maybe from her own self, but no official reason. So I don't want her to die because this would sever the relationship between him and this group, which would be very bad. This way we would have at least someone to help us out. And I just like her.
様、これはレンザリ様。
サル貴族のご婦人と。
Who are you? Who are you? You can smile?
サル貴族のご婦人とその真男の方。
I like the eyeliner, the little wing, or whatever this is.
そうよね。上の階をお借りしても。無様ね、ザイロ。
予想通りの反応だな。
あまりにも愚か。
She's not wrong. She's not wrong.
私が助け舟を出さなかったら間違いなく拘束されていたわ。
違う。あそこで騒ぎを起こすところ。
I'm assuming people know Xylo's connected to her? Right? Or is that more or less a secret? I hope that her tribe is more or less untouched by the fairies and coexisters, but I don't know. I could definitely see the two behind her betraying her at some point and killing her, backstabbing.
ああ、その間に仲間が忍び込み。
Yeah, sure. Tell her all about your
ここを
plan.
確保する手はずだった。
あなたは聖騎士の方ね。
第13聖騎士団の長を務めているパトーシェ・キビアだ。
あまり私の婿を甘やかさないでくれる？この男は無様で教育不足で。
But
未熟にして浅はかです。部外者に干渉されたくないの。
部外者だと？そちらこそこの作戦において部外者だろう。
私は婚約者。どのような窮地でも共にあるべきです。
だとしてもだ。
I really wonder how this happened. How did they get engaged? I feel like he helped them out because he was always pretty reckless. He was always not really adhering to the rules as the church or whatever wanted. Because he's a commander on the field, so he has the right to decide. And he also did illegal stuff, supposedly. So I could see him having done something to help this tribe or these people. And they in turn were like, okay, we are going to do like a engagement because our debt is so big that we want to forge a permanent bond with you that is unbreakable. Because she berated him now. We know from earlier on that she does not know this can be taken as an insult, which awkward, uneducated, boorish, and thoughtless. She's not wrong on these parts. That is what we saw her essentially saying. That it's not wrong what she's saying. It may be seen as an insult, but that was not meant to be one, because she's not giving him an adjective that is not right. She's not calling him unfit for combat, as example, because he is good at fighting. She's just telling more or less the truth. But I wonder how this whole engagement came to be, and why is it so important to uphold? Because with all the negative parts she's saying, she still is my fiance. He's going to marry me. I'm going to make it happen one way or another. And I don't want you to mess with him because he's mine. So there has to be something big that happened to make her this way. Because she's also, I believe, like the daughter or so. She's pretty high up in her tribe, if I remember correctly. I mean, she was able to rally like 3,000 knights or riders or cavalry, so she has to be pretty high up. And people were willing to follow the command of her, because saying, hey, I need 3,000 cavalry to help Xylo, probably something that is not easily done, unless Xylo has some kind of... they like Xylo, or she has high enough power to move them even if they would not want to move.
お前ら、性格的に相性が悪いとは思ってたが。
I mean, you have two women fighting over you. Always gonna be messy.
は、性格的に。
相性が悪いだと？
なぜその
They are very similar.
程度の結論し。
Oh, they get attacked. No, come on. I don't want her to die. I mean, we know Xylo's not going to die. We know Rita is most likely not going to die. Kivia is not going to die. She's like part of the group. But this new fiance, she has like a big target on her back, which I don't like.
出てこないの。真の愚か者なの。
いや、その範疇を超えている。人間観察力があまりにも低すぎる。
同感ね。その目はススバナモグラ並みの視力です。
Okay. Observation skill on the level of a Susubana mole. I mean, they are ripping into him. I was also like, what are you doing? Going in with like 3 kids? Not going to work well. Having like a ballista or whatever this is, arbalest, scorpion. That's going to do pretty well. Oh. Right, they have the magic thingies. So it's like a cannon.
その辺に立っている木の方がまだ賢いとさえ言える。
I mean, they don't get along with each other, but they are able to insult Xylo together.
罵倒するときだけ仲良くなるな。今遊んでる場合じゃねえんだ。そもそもお前はなんでここにいる？
冒険者を偽装しての潜入調査よ。もう少しでリデオ・ソドリックと接触できるところでした。
そりゃ邪魔して悪かったな。今からでも俺たちに。
すみません、お客人。ギルド長が依頼を伺いたいと申しております。
フレンシー、引き上げてもいいぜ。
冗談を呆れてものも言えません。
I mean, they all know it's fight time. It's not meat time. I mean, she seems very strong. She seems on the same level as Kivia.
やっぱ暴れる方が簡単だ。
Is that a machine gun? Wow, okay. First off, this machine gun is like one of those rotary ones here. Nice. Second, I mean, what did you expect? Insane. I mean, they are trying to kill them, so they are not children anymore, they are combatants. What are you doing, Paku? Wow. She just got kicked in the face by a whole door. Now, first off, the one girl that we saw at the beginning, not here. Second, these children are not that strong. I assume they would be stronger unless they wake up again and are like untiring. Was the whole point, hey, the children are very effective assassins because they are children. Normally, you let your guard down around children, and that is where they can backstab you, which makes them very bad fighter. Because they are children, they're not that strong, they're not really grown up. The whole point is that you can take people off guard. But in this case, the whole benefit in being a kid is gone. Now it's just a negative. So why even send them here? Why not just have normal adventurer fight? Have a bunch of these guys. No. Oh. I mean, he wants to make a commotion, sure. But the whole guild is after them.
派手に騒いでくれそうだ。
こんな予定ではなかったのだが。
まったく本当にやるのね。
ああ、リデオ・ソドリックをあぶり出すついでに街をきれいに掃除する。
何これ。
地域貢献ってやつだな。
最悪なんだけど。
Do your job. Now, only part is Kivia doesn't really have a better uniform. His hair is like this. I feel like it's very hard to move in. It may be that she does the typical rip off the lower half of the skirt to move around easier, kind of thing. Additionally, get rid of the cape. Probably going to be in the way. But yeah, we have a commotion. Now, no idea about the Shadrin, to be honest. I have no idea why they got sent here. They are pretty much useless. Got deflected, got more or less two-shot. Now this also doesn't really make sense. We have a guy running up a wall to try to attack someone, getting one shot. And I mean, she just got kicked. Again, a lot of... I can see having them as an assassin, very effective. They may be able to kill a lot more people than a normal assassin could. But in a fight, pretty useless. In a normal 1-2-1.